Hello, YouTube. This is OmniDitto here, and I am joined once again by Team the Lockharts.
What's up, everybody?
We
Here
are
for
here.
Arthos.
We are here at the RNG Dueling Championship, and in the blue corner we have a new challenger approaching, Full Metal Falcon.
And in the red corner, someone who you guys might recognize from losing the last championship, Yugi 514.
Looking for revenge.
So here, and I was gonna say Rock. Rock's meta.
Rock is meta. I think we're going to see Full Metal Falcon take the first. So,
Full Metal Falcon decides to be a good sport, telling Yugi to good luck and have fun out there.
indeed. So we're going to draw 5 cards, and Full Metal Falcon is going to start off. Now, what do you expect to see from him? Because he is, in fact, playing the Damage Step Dino deck.
I expect to see a lot of things happen in the damage step.
Alright, stating the obvious. A classic move. Now we see Yugi draw his card, and I think we're probably going to see a first turn Galaxy Eyes, because I was looking at the deck list before, and he had quite a solid lineup there.
A lot of solid lineups. Nothing
Lot
good
of
for a local, but this is RNG.
This is RNG. Now, okay, he sets one and passes. That's interesting. What do you think that could be?
His face down is probably something like a torrential, but you know what they say? Tortoise won the race.
Alright. Probably playing on the defensive at first, just to get his opponent off guard. Now, he actually has no idea that Full Metal Falcon is playing Damage Step Dinos, so perhaps that's what he's trying to go for, is the same
And we see a Velo out of the player in the blue.
Velo, okay. Now, will this attack go through? Because whether or not Velo is getting his attack off, the important thing to note is that the game will end whether or not he gets his combos off, if he can reduce his opponent's life points. And we see a Tragodia.
And we see a Tragodia. He goes from defense to offense.
Alright. Now, do you think he's going to try and take control of that monster?
Normally, from what I've seen, especially from his deck list, he needs to have... I don't think he will have the monsters to take his Velo.
Really? Alright, let's see what happens here. Now, he's still got this Tragodia at 3,000 attack. However, if Jurrac Velo is destroyed, the player in the blue will get to summon another Jurrac monster with 1,700 or less attack. So, Yugi 514 is really taking a risk here. Are we going to see anything during the damage step?
We're going to see a Pride for War, maybe?
Prideful Roar would be a game-changing card. Oh, and he takes the damage. But no, the player in the blue does not need to fret, because now he gets a Jurrac monster with 1,700 or less attack.
Here's what I would not be surprised if maybe he did have the Pride for War. And then, with Velo's effect, summons Jurrac Waiba and then destroys his Tragodia.
Alright. Let's see if my fellow commentator is correct. He's searching through his deck. The deck is being searched through. Okay. Now, of course, the player in the red and the player in the blue are playing the Galaxy and Damage Step Dinos respectively, as we've been saying. But we have yet to see a Galaxy card from Yugi 514. The question really is, what is he going to do with the rest of his turn? Is he going to get out a 2,000 attack or higher monster to try and get out his Galaxy as Photon Dragon in the next turn? Or is he just going to keep his defenses high with this Tragodia?
Maybe Yugi 514 is playing coy, being like, I don't want to show you what I'm actually playing. I'm just going to send on a Tragodia.
That's right, because Full Metal Falcon will truly have no idea. Oh, and we see the discard of the Galaxy Wizard to take control of the Velo.
Plays for days.
Plays for days.
Now the question is, will he exceed into a monster?
I assume he will, because if he doesn't get rid of that Velo now, and his opponent manages to summon a monster, say a Guaiba, and he attacks that Velo, he will in fact get to special summon twice, because the Velo will be sent to the player in the blue's graveyard, allowing him to do that. And he goes for Gaga Cowboy.
Only the best from our RNG players.
Looking to get in some cheap damage really quickly. Now, in the end, hopefully that 800 points won't make too much of a difference to our player in the blue, and he'll be able to come back from this. Because right now, I think that he's going to have a lot of trouble.
All we need to see from our player in the blue is Does Shrink lower the defense of the monster?
I believe it only lowers the attack. Oh, and
Well,
we see a
then-
fossil dig.
What is he going to fossil dig into? Maybe a Jurrac Waiba?
I could definitely see a Jurrac Waiba right now. It really all depends on his face down cards. Now, of course, we also know that most of his attacks lower the, or most of his spell and trap support in the damage step Dino deck lowers the attack of the opposing monster, meaning that a 2400 defense Gaga Cowboy really is a great move on the part of Yugi 514.
Why go into my stroke and be safe when you can go into Cowboy, right, guys?
That is right, Kakaka Cowboy. Alright, he's still searching through his deck for this fossil dig. This is one excavation that is not going to happen instantaneously. And we can also see...
While he is looking through the deck, I feel it's time that we talk about our sponsors.
Alright, go right ahead.
Our first sponsor for the day is Skittles.
Sea-Doo.
Because if you're not Taste of the Rainbow, you're just not living, and you're probably homophobic, so...
Exactly.
You should definitely be eating those Skittles.
Yes. And I would also like to mention one of our sponsors. The RNG Dueling World Championship is brought to you by Sea-Doo. If it's not a Sea-Doo, it's a Sea-Don't. Now, we see Jurrac Aolo searched from Full Metal Falcon's deck. What exactly is he going to do with this?
He probably has Call of the Haunted face down. Tribute a whatever. And we see the Call of the Haunted.
Okay. There we go. Now let's see what happens. I think he's probably going to go for that level 5 synchro play. Now, we know that he has Catasser in his extra deck. That would help with destroying the Gaga Cowboy. Let's see exactly what he's able to do. Viewing his extra deck for that level 5 synchro. And... do we see the Catasser? Do we see it?
Is it there?
It's not there yet!
This is very suspenseful.
Suspense! And, just like that, a Catasser appeared.
There we go. And we see
Bottomless!
From the player in the red!
On the lance is chained!
Ah!
Alright, now considering that Allied Justice Catasser applies absolutely no damage because of its effect, he will still be able to destroy that Gaga Cowboy unless we can see a trap from Yugi 514. Although it will still be unaffected by spells and traps, so it won't really matter. And the destruction of the Gaga Cowboy, just narrowly avoiding a very treacherous trap hole by the player in the blue.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. I would like to just take this moment to ask our fellow commentator to get a little bit closer to his mic because it's kind of hard to hear him.
I'm currently looking for my cell phone.
All right. And we see the... oh, wow! The player in the red does nothing in his turn. I feel like that may be a set torrential tribute. What do you think?
I'm feeling Mirror Force.
Mirror Force, okay. Let's see. Now, do you think that the player in the blue has another lance? Because I heard he was playing 3.
I can definitely see our player in the blue having a 3rd lance, possibly even a 4th lance.
Wow. That 4th lance is a move that players don't often expect. Oh, and we see a Trigonia, the hand traps. The hand traps.
Trigonia has been a very strong card for Yugi 514 so far this duel.
Yes. Now, of course... wait, oh! I just remembered... our inside sources have told us that Yugi 514 may possibly be running the level 5 Photon Slasher, meaning that if you were able to draw into it right now, then he could take control of his opponent's Ally of Justice Catasser and go into a rank 5 monster. And we see the Galaxy Knight. Perhaps if he's able to get a Photon monster or a Galaxy monster on the board, he can normal summon his Galaxy Knight.
This is true. These are Yu-Gi-Oh! Effects.
Perhaps we can see a Photon lead from our player in the red.
Abyss lead the club!
Now, this duality could be essential to the victory of Yugi 514, and if he's not able to get something useful off of it, I think he may as well just throw in the towel.
If Yugi 514 needs to do something this turn to impact the board, because Full Metal Falcon has the perfect setup for his deck.
Indeed. 3 back row, and most likely 1 dinosaur monster in hand at least. Oh, and he just enters his battle phase.
I'm calling the Shrink.
Okay. If we can see the shrink here right now, Oh, and the prideful roar! Okay, and we're going to see Yugi 514 take 200 points of damage, and then, I'm sorry, we're going to see Full Metal Falcon take 200 points of damage, and then Yugi 514 take 300. There we go. He has taken the 200, and Yugi 514 takes the 300.
Just when you think Yu-Gi-Oh couldn't get weirder, a spaceship Ward.
Yes.
Pridefully, I may add.
Ha 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 ha. Ha.
I'll be here all week, guys. Tip your waitress.
Oh, that's hot.
At this point, I would say the player in the blue, Full Metal Falcon, has complete control of this game. And unless we see another Karibo, maybe, out of the player in the red, there's no chance.
And also, we have to think that, really, if that's not a Mirror Force face down, I don't see Yugi 514 being able to come back from this, and we may be moving on to Game 2.
The only trap he could have face down that can help him in this situation is Mirror Force. Or unless Full Metal Falcon decides to summon and get torrential.
Alright. Oh, and he goes straight for the attack at 2200 damage, and he's left with 1600.
In other news, Ally of Justice Catastrophe is for some reason at a high price of $45.
I was just thinking that. And we see the torrential! Oh, and he lances. He lances. What is he going to choose to activate his lance on? Frankly, I think that the best move would be to lance the Ally of Justice Catastrophe, because that seems to be keeping Yugi 5-1. And a double lance!
Double lance!
The double lance!
It's a double lance!
And that is all 3 lances being used by Full Metal Falcon.
That was a play.
Wow. And now the question is, will we be seeing that 4th lance from our player in the blue?
You can knock our players for not being the best. You can knock the fact that they have quick play spells.
Indeed. Alright. Hopefully we can see... And another call, the Haunted, was accidentally sent to the graveyard. I apologize, I'm going to take a drink from our sponsor, Super Chill. Super Chill, making that generic soda that you've loved since 2008. Delicious. I can't even taste the knockoff brand. Okay, and we see a normal summon Galaxy Wizard. Frankly, I don't see much else that Yugi 514 can do at this point.
At this point, Yugi 514 should just concede.
Okay. Galaxy Expedition. He
Ooh,
cannot
what does this
activate
guy
Galaxy Expedition because he does not control a level 5 or higher Galaxy monster. Now,
Will
see,
Full Metal Falcon notice?
I hope so. Otherwise, well, the responsibility of the players is to maintain the game state. So, if Full Metal Falcon does not notice, then, well, I guess that's just how this is going to go. We're going to see an overlay. I suppose Full Metal Falcon has not noticed.
And he calls himself a judge.
And he is going... I was trying not to mention that. He's going to go into a rank 8. Oh, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. This is quite possibly the best move that... Oh, I apologize. I believe Galaxy Wizard can change its level to 8. Can it?
I don't
yes,
know.
It can.
Yes, he can.
It can. Okay, well, that was a mistake on our part.
I will not apologize.
I will apologize. And so Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon destroys Catastor and is probably going to deal a lot of damage. Okay, he's going to draw. And I can hear my dogs barking.
Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon destroyed.
Because of its effect, which is once per battle phase, at the start of your battle phase, you could attach one Xyz material from this card, negate the effects of all other face-up monsters currently on the field. Also, their attack and defense become their original attack and defense, and if you do any of these during this battle phase, each time an opponent's card effect resolves, this card gains 1,000 attack until the end of the battle phase. Also, it can make a second attack during the battle phase of this turn.
I can't read.
Apparently, Yugi 514 chose not to use the second part of that effect, possibly because he didn't want to destroy the Jurrac Velo so that he could give his opponent an advantage here. However, really, if he draws into another dinosaur, then he has the ability to make another monster.
One glaring misstep. Done. But Full Metal Falcon is not putting Gaga Cowboy in his extra deck.
That would certainly help him at this point. Let's see what happens from here. A moment of silence.
Rest in peace, George Carlin.
I apologize. And we see the fossil dig. What will he search?
In this instance, I would say probably search out a tuner monster.
A tuner monster, indeed. Perhaps, if he were able to assemble 2 more monsters on the field, he could use his Jurrac Meteor to destroy Galaxy-Eyes Tachyon Dragon. But we'll of course see. Perhaps there are other cards in his extra deck he could search, maybe even a level 3 tuner so that he could make a Black Rose Dragon. Thankfully, our player in the blue does, and we do see the Jurrac Dino. Perhaps we're going to see a Black Rose. Are we going to see it?
Does he play the Dino?
Does he play the Dino? The player in the blue has the advantage of being able to Black Rose, knowing that the player in the red is not going to be able to probably deal 4,900 points of damage, and that he will be safe to live another turn if he leaves himself open here. Now, we have a lot of people watching this duel for some reason, but that doesn't matter. I'd just like to thank our 2 observers, Aegis Check-In and Bohawk00. I don't know who you are, but thank you for watching.
Love your faces.
Yes, indeed. Now we're seeing the player in the blue take a while, wondering what he's going to do here.
Full Metal Falcon needs to be careful because last time he thought this hard, he ended up in the hospital.
Indeed. With an aneurysm. Okay, and we see Jurrac Dino. Jurrac Dino Synchros.
The Black Rose?
The Black Rose?
The Rose of Black?
Oh no. Black Rose!
Blowy up the boardy!
Can you say blowy up the boardy, Mr. Lockhart's?
I can say blowy up the boardy, and I will. Blowy up the boardy!
Alright. Full Metal Falcon possibly going to be able to set a Call of the Haunted now and be able to come back from this game.
Play that Monster Reborn.
Pot of Avarice!
Just as good.
Just as good. The Pot of Avarice. So now we'll be able to see that.
Echoes go back, and the Catastor.
Wow, he is really putting himself at an advantage for this game.
These tactical maneuvers, man.
These are some maneuvers indeed. Only the finest duelists in our RNG dueling circuit. I really personally hope that our friend Yugi514 is able to get his revenge after losing last time to Penguins.
An 0-2 record would be kind of pathetic.
Indeed. And we see... What are we going to see from our player in the blue? Anything? It appears he's ending his turn. Nothing from our player in the blue. Giving Yugi514... And we see a Pot of Avarice from Yugi514! What a match, people!
I'll raise your avarice with an avarice!
Alright. I don't think I have seen this kind of shenanigan since... I don't even know.
Since that thing that happened in Boston.
Oh boy. Yeah. Hey Lockhart, we're gonna offend a lot of people with that.
What if I said I lived in Boston?
You don't. Okay, let's keep going. So, we see... Yugi514 has drawn his 2 cards. Will he be able to do anything? He has the advantage over Full Metal Falcon with his Pot of Avarice, given that he is not normal summon this turn, and the Thrasher. The Photon Thrasher and Photon Satellite. Alright.
Yugi514 can easily wrap up this duel with a well-timed Honest.
Okay. Now, he's going to be able to make a rank 5 right now. Let's see what he makes. Possibly Volcasaurus? We see the Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja. Okay. An odd move on the part of Yugi514, but perhaps he has something up his sleeve.
I don't ask questions at this point.
Very understandable. And for some reason, Full Metal Falcon only took 2,100 damage, but that's okay.
They're in the RNG duels for a reason.
Okay. Let's see. What can our player in the blue do?
And I was timed out due to inactivity.
Oh, that is terrible. All right. And he's going to set one card and set a face down. Hopefully this will be the end. And a duality from the player in the red. He is going to banish Excel Light.
And can't keep a good commentator down. I'm back.
Heavy Storm. And Galaxy Knight. I think the best thing to do at this point would be to grab an Excel Light just in case he loses control of this game again, but he chooses the Galaxy Knight. Oh, no, he puts the Galaxy Knight back. Maybe the Heavy Storm to ensure that he's going to win this game.
Yugi 514 is such a tease.
He is a tease indeed. He's having a very difficult decision deciding between Heavy Storm and the other card. And I timed out due to inactivity. Alright, let's see here. For some reason I timed out.
Was chosen by the player in the red. He shuffles his deck. Puts Pot of Duality inside the grave.
Alright. What did he select? Did he select
Excel Light?
Excel Light, excellent.
Excel Light makes me excited.
That's hot. We see Photon Crusher. Could this be the end of this duel? He's going to attack with Photon Crusher. And he's going to be switched to the end, or to the to defense position at the end of the damage step. Then will this 2400 attack go through? It appears it does! Okay, we know that Yugi 514 has Gaga Cowboy in his extra deck. All he needs to do next turn is summon a level 4 monster and be able to go into a rank 4. And we have lost our commentator? Are you still there, Mr. Team the Lockharts? Mr. Lockharts, are you still there? Oh no, we have lost our other commentator. Hopefully he will be joining in as soon as possible. We see Jurrac Aolo being normal summoned. He's going to tribute himself to summon a level 4 Jurrac monster from the graveyard, Jurrac Velo. Of course, Full Metal Falcon is not going to be able to utilize the effect of Jurrac Velo at this point, but he's going to destroy the Photon Crusher, knowing that his opponent has the Galaxy Knight in hand. Let's see exactly what happens. Going to try and get this back online. Hopefully, he'll be able to contact us. I apologize, everybody. And Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja attacks, and he reveals the Mystical Space Typhoon, which is, of course, of no use in this game. So let's see what happens from now. And we'll be joined in Game 2. Yugi 514 is able to take Game 1. Hopefully, this will mean his comeback and from his last shame in the RNG dueling circuit. I just got a message from our fellow commentator, and he says that he's going to be coming back. Okay. We see each player draw their cards, and Full Metal Falcon is going to start off the game. What could we possibly see from Full Metal Falcon? Of course, these players are not siding, but we did not see a single Jurrac Guaiba from Full Metal Falcon in Game 1. Perhaps he's going to go more with the theme of damage step dinos and set a lot of things that can be activated during his damage step along with his Jurrac Guaiba. But only time will be able to tell. So he summons the Jurrac Guaiba, and will he be able to set the back row? He sets 1. He sets 2. And he passes. Hopefully those are not just bluffs behind there. And we're going to see the player in the red use a Pot of Duality. What will this Pot of Duality reveal? Solemn Judgment, Mystical Space Typhoon, and finally Mirror Force. Really, a Mirror Force is probably the best thing that our player in the red is going to be able to select because, frankly, he cannot handle the damage step that the dinos are dishing out. But instead he chooses the Mystical Space Typhoon? This is a very interesting choice by Yugi 514, and I'm going to have to ask him later exactly why he chose to do this. So, we're going to see that he's going to activate the Mystical Space Typhoon on the center back row. Is Full Metal Falcon going to be able to chain something? And it's Prideful Roar! He hits the Prideful Roar! Excellent. An excellent play indeed. We see the Photon Crusher. Is he going to be able to do anything? And our fellow commentator is back. I apologize. They saw your name. Is that okay?
I don't care.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to turn my Skype notifications off. And thankfully, we are being joined back.
What did I miss?
You missed just about nothing. And we appear to have lost our commentator a second time. I am really wondering what is happening right now. That's okay, though, because I will continue commentating, as we see that the player in the red's monster has been changed to defense position because it attacked, and we see the fossil dig from the player in the blue. The fossil dig has been activated. Could this mean that our player in the blue is going to take the second game and lead this to a game 3? I have no idea. For some reason, he does not search out the Jurrac Guaiba, and instead chooses to search out Jurrac Velo, and we see the Call of the Haunted. He is probably going for a great play right now. I apologize. This yelling is not very comfortable for me. So, he's going to target the Jurrac Guaiba with something, and there we go. We have lost our fellow commentator, and he's back! He is back.
You
Our
can't
fellow...
keep a good Christian, God-fearing American down.
Alright. There we go. So we see the Jurrac Guaiba attack the Photon Crusher and activate its effect to summon another Jurrac monster with 1700 or less attack. We don't know what's going on with our fellow commentator right now. I am very concerned. I think that his American internet is inferior to my Asian internet. Could this possibly mean the use of a Shockmaster by Fullmetal Falcon? This reporter wants to know. And he's back. Our commentator is back once again.
You can call me a zombie.
And we shall. Zombie the Lockharts is back.
Now, who won game 1? Before I time out again.
I apologize. It was Yugi514 with his Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja, but from the looks of it, Fullmetal Falcon is going to be able to take a decent lead here because he's going to be able to draw 2 cards at the end phase of his turn. He has the Dino. No, we don't see a Trigonia. And then, are we going to see Jurrac Dino activate its effect? Personally, I think so.
I would agree with that statement.
Oh, however, it cannot because it did not destroy an opponent's monster by battle this turn. He's going to Synchro Summon with Jurrac Velo and his Jurrac Dino. Which monster are we going to see? Are we going to see a Black Rose with no effect or one of the Jurrac Synchros?
I would hope we see a Jurrac Synchro because a Black Rose Dragon would be a waste.
And we see Jurrac Giganoto. Dinosaur-type monsters, all face-up Jurrac monsters you control gain 200 attack for each Jurrac monster in your graveyard.
So
which
gain 400 attack.
That is excellent for him. He has a 2100 attack Guaiba and a 2500 attack Giganoto. That's really going to put pressure on the player in the blue.
Hopefully both of our players can do simple math and we'll be able to know the attacks of the monsters.
Okay, let's see what happens from our player in the blue. Maybe another Galaxy Wizard? Perhaps pulling out the game from his ass again? I think this could be a possibility. Let's see what happens. Yugi514 is thinking hard indeed. And he activates the Galaxy Zero.
I don't know what this card does.
This card will special summon a monster from your graveyard. Its effect is negated. It cannot attack or activate its effects. But it doesn't matter because we see the Photon Satellite, and he's going to be able to make a rank 5 once again.
If he doesn't go into Terrace, there is an issue. Okay.
Do you think we're going to see the Crimson Shadow Armor Ninja, though?
I hope not.
The Volcasaurus! He uses the Volcasaurus.
That's
okay.
Good too. That's good too.
So he's only going to be able to deal 2100 points of damage, but that's okay because that's still a lot. I hope he can. Although he can still attack with Volcasaurus, so it's okay. He can just not declare an attack directly. And is this attack going to go through? It has to, unless we see some sort of new fire type on us. And it's destroyed, taking 800 damage.
Damage step there for Fullmetal Falcon.
Alright, and Fullmetal Falcon is going to take a total of 2900 damage this turn. That, my friends, is a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Hopefully,
as we have a slow point in the duel, I would like to talk about one of our newest sponsors that just happened.
And what would that be?
Brains. I want them, so give them to me.
Thank you, Zombie the Lockharts.
No, but seriously, give me your shit. Give me your brains.
Okay, you can have my shit and my brains. I'll be your wingman anytime.
Back to the duel.
Homoeroticism.
At its finest. Take that, Mormons.
Alright, and we're going to see a Jurrac Dino from the player in the blue. Is he going to be able to get over that huge body of 2,500 from Volcasaurus? I can see the shrink, and we see the shrink! The shrink has been played. That monster is now down to 1250, and this duel is probably going to be over. Frankly, he can just tribute his Jurrac Dino, draw 2 cards, and be set for the turn.
You're probably asking yourselves at home, who the fuck plays Shrink anymore? And I would answer your question with...
Damage Step Dinos.
Who does play Shrink anymore?
No. The answer is Damage Step Dinos, and he opts not to activate the effect, possibly setting another Shrink, because he is able to activate Jurrac Dino's effect during his opponent's turn.
This
we see
would signify that he has no monsters in his hand to back up his Jurrac Dino's play with.
Yes, and he's going to attack, and we see another Shrink!
See, it's the second Shrink out of the playing in the blue.
So
and the fans are going wild.
Yugi 514. Yugi 514. I can't talk over the fans. Okay, we're gonna have to quiet those fans down. Yugi 514 is going to take 700 damage, and then during his end phase, the player in the blue is going to be able to activate Jurrac Dino's effect. Could this mean the end of the game for Yugi?
Yugi 514 is currently stunned, not knowing what exactly has happened.
Shrink is indeed a weird card to have to face. And we see the Honest in the damage step! The Honest in the damage step.
You're playing Damage Step Dinos, he's playing Damage Step Honest.
Okay. Frankly, now, I don't see what our player in the blue can do to come back. That is a whole lot of destruction there.
And people say hand traps aren't cool.
That would probably just be me.
People say Molten Destruction's a good card.
Molten Destruction is a good card. Depending on the deck you're playing it in. And now we're going to see Full Metal Falcon take some damage here. Do you think this could be the end of the game? I think this may be Yugi 514's chance to come back. Although
I would say that this is the end of the duel, to be honest.
Okay, unless, of course, we can see Full Metal Falcon pull a clutch Jurrac Waiba, then be able to exceed into one of his 2 Volzar's Exceed monsters. And we're going to see him pass? Oh, I think this is probably the end for Full Metal Falcon.
Yugi 514, he has a chance to redeem himself.
If he's able to summon out a monster, I can see this being game. What is he going to do? Oh, this is a stressful match. Stressful match indeed.
He's looking through his extra deck. Will we see a Gaga Cowboy?
A Galaxy Wizard. Okay. He's overlaying. He's going to make a rank 4. What rank 4 could he possibly make? Star-Lord Galaxian!
What is this card?
This card is the one that lets you special summon a Galaxy-Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck.
It's over.
Unless he's able to actually use it. And he cannot because he did not use 2 level 4 Photon monsters. He used a Galaxy monster. Okay.
514 needs to get your shit together.
Get your shit together, 514. Constellar Omega, another great choice.
A very smart play, protecting himself from a possible top deck dark hole.
Indeed. He's going to attack for 2,400 damage, leaving the player in the blue at 1,400. Is he going to set any back row? One back row, hopefully defensive. Perhaps it's a bluff, but there's only one way for Full Metal Falcon to find out. Of course, now he can set a torrential and not have to worry because he can protect himself from the spell and traps.
I would say it's all over here, folks. Give it to Yugi 514.
The Heavy Storm and a Bottomless is revealed.
I've changed a lot of Bottomlesses to Heavy Storm in my day.
And it usually negates. But
you don't have the MST to negate the Heavy Storm, you have to play Bottomless. So.
I can agree with you there. So we're going to see here whether or not this is going to go into Game 2. We see Jurrac Velo.
Oh, he's planning something.
He is planning something. He has enough life points to be able to attack without the threat of Honest now. And he sets one card. And he ends. If this is a prideful roar, this is going to be one hell of a game 3. A dark hole from the player in the red.
It's over, folks.
It is over. I cannot see him coming back from this.
That needs to be his only Call of the Haunted left in his deck.
A lance chained to Jurrac Velo.
It will still not be enough, folks, because it'll only be at 900.
And then he's going to attack for game. Let's see if Yugi514 can do his math quickly enough to realize that that's all he has to do.
Is he competent enough to go into the battle phase, declare an attack, and take what is his?
The revenge that he so desperately seeks. Can he do it? Can he do it?
Can he be the meteor to Full Metal Falcon's deck?
I think he can. I'd just like to take a moment to recognize our sponsor, Pringles Chips, the best.
I might be a zombie now, but I wouldn't even eat those.
I would also like to take another moment to recognize our sponsor after we see Yugi514 reclaim his championship title of the RNG World Dueling Circuit. I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, Yugi514 is our RNG dueling champion with the deck Galaxy. We're going to see that he's going to take Oh, did he chain the lance? No, he couldn't have chained the lance to his Constellar Omega. We see our player in the blue lose his ability to do math, thinking he's only lost 1299 life points, when in fact he has lost that one. And he says he lives! He is not going down!
He has become a zombie!
Okay, and so I am going to go learn to survive the zombie apocalypse. That heart of the fucking card with my nerdy white ass. We see Full Metal Falcon not want to go down, activate a pot of duality. So we're going to have to call security. Team the Lockharts, will you please do the honor of calling security?
They're all dead.
They are all dead. He has killed them all. So that's going to be the end of this RNG duel. As always, people, leave comments in the description, please. We love to hear from you. This is going to be Mr. Team the Lockharts. Would you like to say goodbye to our fans?
Also, in the comments below, please leave your brains.
Okay, and tell us what you had for dinner. Team the Lockharts will be having brains. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time on the RNG World Dueling Circuit. Good night, and good luck.